Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich, the Ottoman Empire. Let us continue on for last off. So we're almost to where we want to be. Almost. I mean, it's almost time for a war. But once we we'll do the enduring front, we will then follow that up with centralizing authority. Followed up by incorporating the Cadres movement, which I believe will then turn us national populist. Embrace social nationalism. Enact separation of church and state. And then fulfill the union of party and state, which I think might give us a new tree. I'm not too sure. Increase integration of Syrian and Iraqi to 100%. Change national populism by 10%. And do you need, I'm assuming you won't be able to join a faction here. You need to disband the troops of progress, or has been restored to Muscat. Yeah, so I mean, this is just not... No, I guess you could still... You need cooperation with the private sector. Yeah, so we're not able to join the Entente, and we're not going to be able to join the Reichspakt in the future. We'll see how that kind of where it leads us. I will go for 1936 artillery upgrades. Probably should have had that a while ago, but... I mean, as long as it's all ready before the war begins, we should be more or less fine, right? That's the way that I see it. Centralized class selection, settle southern tribes. What do you do for us? Military mission in Yemen is definitely not what we want. Yeah, get these things going. Republicans have won the Greek referendum. Are you going for... I mean, will you go for new expansionism? I mean, you can... We just don't know which way they're going to go. Again, we are still above our troop limit here. And unfortunately, you can't send units back to the recruitment pool. That'd be actually really nice if you could. Though I can understand how that could be broken if you just disband units and make them deploy somewhere else. Okay, we're now at 55 out of 49, which is going to make our penalty less harsh. Like, we need to get more factories so we can actually, you know, deploy these units. I think maybe just... I think for every factory we get, like, 3 divisions that we can deploy. Something like that. And these guys down here are just kind of blowing up all our factories, which is rude, to put it one way. More than 0% stability. Enables purge disloyal elements. National Populists now be known as the Ottoman People's Party. Yeah, I'm sure this is fine. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I don't really know. I mean, your stability plus 20%. Support for liberals. For market liberal. I mean, we need to get centralized state authority immediately. Portugal join the Entente. Let's shrine at the Endeavor front. We've not completed 4 years of progress. Which is 4 years of progress is... Is it in here? I say I don't know where that is, so you might not even be able to do it. I mean, I probably can look it up. 4 years. No, I have completed it. Has not completed it. How very specific. That you have to not do this very early game focus to get this to work, to break up state monopolies. Which would then allow you to go for a democratic Ottoman Empire. Huh. Very strange. But does this change the, market liberal or social liberal, removes lights at literacy, multi-level democracy... Market liberal, authoritarian democracy. Then you can join the Entente, and then you can order to join the Reichspakt. Okay, now centralized state authority. We have. Okay, we have not completed focus Imperial Institute for Technology. Has not completed. Where even are those texts? Repeal of National Protection Law. Are they in here? No, I'm guessing this is maybe... I mean, luckily we didn't do any of those. otherwise we'd be kind of a little bit screwed for what this whole campaign has been leading up to getting the national populists in charge of the Ottoman Empire. I don't even know if they'll be ready in time before the war begins. We'll probably be at war when the national populists actually take over the country. And we'll see kind of how that does. Japan's going to war on the Philippines. Good for them. We're now at 55 out of 50, which is another 0.5% reduction in our massive penalties. Which, I mean, I guess it does add up if you, Yeah, you're pretty large. You're also national populist, so I actually don't know what you're going to do. Suppress a drug trade. What faction do you align yourself with? Do you align yourself with the Feding government, or do you align yourselves with the Qing? I don't know. Or do you just do nothing and just stay independent? I think all those are definitely possibilities. Legation cities, I believe you are the Germans. You guys are national populists as well, so maybe you'll join up with the Japanese. I mean, the Feding government... I mean, the Feding government, if they have anybody else in China actually support them, would probably be pretty powerful. But, I mean, I usually don't see anybody actually supporting their side, I would imagine. Like, I'm trying to think if I've ever seen anybody support the Feding government. And I can't recall seeing it. I might be wrong. I played a lot of Kaiserreich, so maybe one of those campaigns, somebody's done it. But, you know, let's infiltrate the army. And I've got 2 people. Apparently you also can work in Albania and, that's nice. You can work in Albania. I don't know if I need to ever spy on Albania, but if we ever do need to in the future... You actually, Greece might join the Cynic list. Huh, okay, interesting. We'll see how that plays out for them. Again, they usually don't do that. I mean, I guess they would have a front line here with the Reichspakt at some point. Because, of course, Austria's going to join in, right? Like, that's obviously going to happen. West Indies Federation been annexed. Venezuela, Canada, and the French have taken some territory. So see what you guys end up doing with the land. If you actually release Federation, I know you can release them as like a trillion tiny countries, which I don't see why you'd actually want to do. It just makes your little puppet state very, very weak. And okay, no, yeah, they did unite under one country. West Indies Federation is back. Venezuela, of course, they did get some land, so congratulations for on them for making some progress. Also, yeah, I should probably research naval invasion. Once this is done, we should get naval invasion text. We can actually invade Cyprus, just in case Cyprus decides to revolt, which I think they will. And we're going to organize the Conference of Haifa. Again, we're getting closer and closer to the war actually beginning. Just, we don't need more rifles, though, right? Put 1 each of these. By the way, does our subject... You have 2 aluminum, Bulgaria, and that's all you have. Okay, lovely. You have nothing. Basically worthless. Okay, and can we get any upgrades on any of you? Camouflage expert is not really necessary, I think. Infantry expert is a nice focus. You guys can't do anything, that's okay. Oh, so wait, if you're actually the Desert Fox, you should switch positions. Because, I mean, if you're... The Desert Fox should be the one going into the desert and fighting the Sultan of Nejd, right? Like, that makes... To me, that makes sense. Okay, let's go with you. I mean, you are still on our side. As far as I can tell, I mean, unless you haven't decided to do the focus to... liberate you. Like, again, Cernacia, I would give you all of Libya if you stay on my side. You'd be a nice distraction for the AI. Okay, so this is probably the Conference of Hydra. Idris returns to the throne. Just bide your time. The reason we're going to bide our time is because last time, if you remember last time, we didn't invade right away. We annexed them. And then, still, this area revolted afterwards. So it didn't make any difference one way or the other. Do we need to be at peace for this? No. But apparently, looking at it, doesn't matter if, If France or Britain are totalist, even though I read that was a requirement, but maybe it's not. I mean, is it Russia at least needs to be national populist, like that? That's for sure. I'm still wondering what makes them harder than the than normal. Maybe because you're not allowed to join any factions, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Emancipation fan card, which requires us to be at least national populist or authoritarian democratic. Apparently, it also increases support for totalism. So maybe it also increases support for national populism. OHF, example of European nations, its guard nation of liberal parliamentarian democracy, striving for populism, heavy state control, and creation of vanguard to lift up ignorant masses. Sure. Okay. Iran, what are you planning? Probably just to help Egypt and attack us. I mean, we know what's going to happen. We've seen it play out many times before. It's not really new information. Also, I didn't research naval invasion. I researched construction speed. So once you're done, then we'll research naval invasion. There we go. 80 days. Should be fine. Give me more military factories just around here. We're now at 55 out of 51. It's a 1.9% penalty now. But we do have radio, right? Like, I'm not... If we have radio, we should be fine on that, which we do. I mean, Iran doesn't actually have that many troops on the border. So I feel kind of actually okay with our position for when the war breaks out. We have, right now, 55 divisions. Which is more than most of our opponents. Actually, it might be more than all of them put together when the time comes. Okay, the Congress of Haifa is now being pushed through. Annex the MOJ. Egypt will invade if not compensated. I think Egypt's going to invade no matter what. Just a thought. I think Egypt, no matter what's going to happen, is going to invade into us. But we should be okay with that one way or the other. We do need more steel. Get that from not the United States anymore. Let's get it from Russia. It's going to be a little bit safer to import it from there. We want safe imports. Because, I mean, the Egyptian Navy, I don't know, 14 and 20 ships. We do have more naval units than they do. And price accelerates Eid. Give me, what, a 10 political power. I would have liked, like, 1% more stability. We're actually losing political power right now per day. Okay, not great. The enduring front's saying 50%. Do you remove the penalty? You remove it. Every owned state unrest will increase. Well, I mean, it's not great that unrest will increase literally everywhere. And Kurdistan's actually declared their independence now. Which I think actually means it's going to capitulate immediately because we have troops on the border. Oh, thank you for the 500 guns. That, Kurdistan, next time you do a revolt, I recommend not doing it while my units are literally in your borders. It usually doesn't work so well. I don't know why you haven't given up yet. What if I call Armenia and them into the war? Thank you for joining. Okay, there we go. Now Kurdistan realized that they've lost. There we go. One war dealt with. Do not deploy more units. It does not make any sense for us in our current position. We started with you. People like us. It looks like the International actually supports our ability here. Crew population, you get 15%. We'll use 15% stability. We get a little bit more factory output. Let's establish a committee of inquest. Every owned state unrest will increase. That's one reason why it might be difficult, because I think every point, so every province will have unrest go up by 1 point, which is, I think, 1% for every state. of stability. So I think what might go back down is like no stability. Also, Albania declared war on Greece, but that doesn't matter because they're not at war with the socialist Greeks. So I'm not too sure how that's actually going to play out. Probably not play out much at all. So you have another, what, 16 divisions here. Stay on 2 for now. How much manpower do you guys have? 6. Okay, not a lot. I mean, I am using a lot of your manpower for my own units. You can actually concede the territory to Egypt. But now we're at war with the Egyptians. Nejad joined the Cairo Pact. Iran's declared war on us. But again, that's kind of what we were expecting. I think Orange Army basically can just go straight into the countryside. War in the desert. We can't go to war with you quite yet, but I'm ready to go to war when the time comes. Okay, Cyrenaica's joined the war now as well. Our finest hour. Yeah, surrender limit goes up enduring front stability. I mean, it's a 20% stability boost. But I mean, you guys are going to be very upset very soon. Let me just put it that way. Okay, who's declared war on us? Armenia declared war, but guess what? We already had units in your capital, so I'm not too worried about it. I mean, you guys are going fine. Like, do you have any you actually have no aircraft. And no aircraft means that a war will go out, like, pretty well. You have 820 divisions, which is less than what we have on your front line. Okay, Syria joined the war. Not a surprise, basically exactly what we were expecting. But now that Syria has risen up, we can immediately deploy our troops onto the border. Because we know where they are. I'm like, we should be good. I mean, Nesh hasn't done anything. We're abandoning this part of Libya, but I mean, that's okay. South Africa is now worth multiple people. You go assist them. Azerbaijan, I mean, I wouldn't mind if you join my faction as well. Because I know eventually we can form, what is the Istanbul Pact? Okay, we'll go to war with Yemen as well, but we don't have a front line with Yemen, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, our finest hour. Medina joined the Hejaz revolts. Okay, and Cyprus has declared independence. Basically exactly what we knew was going to happen. The Koreans have risen up as well. I mean, Cyprus, I don't need to worry about. Civil war in Jabal. Various tribes of Tripolitania declared their war. Tripolitania's declared independence. Again, I don't care about that so much. Is there anything even in Libya? No. Do you have any factories by default? You have one civilian factory. So I would lean more towards that doesn't even matter in the slightest. Also, are you cores down here? Okay, Syria is a core territory of theirs. Haifa is a core territory. That's really about it. Again, I'm not so concerned. We're now taking actually a 5% penalty now because of our... Probably because we've lost our vassals, which it might have been... it might contribute to that number, actually. I don't actually know. But, like, we should reinforce at a decent rate. Again, I'm not really scared of, I mean, Syria's already almost dead. And we've cost abilities against everybody. Okay, and Armenia will collapse in just a moment, allowing us to reintegrate their territory. Okay, no, you're fine as is. Cavalry way down here. You guys are at war with one another. I think you guys, Blue Army, you just be very aggressive. And take as much land as you can. Purple Army is going to march their way onto the border here. And then just kind of march their way through. We have air support. Armenia's capitulated. Thanks for the oil, losers. And welcome to Capitulation Town, Population U. Yeah, I'll take over Tabriz. You guys can probably go to Tehran pretty easily as well. And yeah, no, this has actually been one of the easier Cairo Pacts of wars in a while. Formation of the Israel Defense Front. In one militia, territorial rise up. With the settlement under attack and then future Zionist project in jeopardy, various Jewish groups have taken upon themselves to form a militia army and ward of air defenses. Heavily outnumbered, outgunned, and even at most, diehard Zionists question their odds. It's approached the Ottoman army in Syria to offer cooperation. Although the Ottoman army would normally automatically refuse or offer support, fearing cause great unrest among its Muslim foot soldiers. We don't need their assistance. Like, it's not really necessary. What if we, like, march our way... Cavalry division marches their way up to, Jerusalem in the back. Capitulate, Syria and makes our life 1,000 times easier. No, they found out our plan. We might as well join Purple Army for right now. Like, I wouldn't mind deploying more units. So Armenia actually have a lot of factories in it. It does have 5 factories. You know, it's not bad. Okay, we got our transport ships. Be useful in our war against Cyprus when the time comes. Get the 1939 artillery pieces as well. Just pull you back ever so slightly. I mean, the Egyptians, I think, are basically already stuck. And then there's really too much they can do to stop us at the moment. If you go to Medina, that might actually be... No, we need to take Mecca. But you march here. And you march here. One of you takes this city. That could be the end of the Nejd Sultanate right away. Because neither of you are actually considered in the faction. Okay. Makes my life easier. And right now, Iran has gotten themselves down to 63%. Nejd is almost dead. We can take their major cities. Again, I think without too much problem. Okay, because taking Hail. Go to Medina. Move our way towards Mecca and then Jeddah. I think it's okay to pull back a little bit here. Pull back a little just to at least secure your position. Everyone's probably a little bit upset with us. But you know what? Let's embrace social nationalism. Industrialize the basic industries. Military factory goes up. Everyone is mad at us. All the time. You know, let's get you. Let's embrace social nationalism. We're now national populist. There we go. Nationalist populist Ottomans. Fantastic. Again, something that I have never seen before. And actually, I think when I posted that I was doing a national Ottoman run, people were like, is that even an option? Apparently it is, because we're doing it. But for right now, I think it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. Thanks everybody for watching. My name is Anthnwam. If you enjoyed, my thumbs up. Not joking, please thumb down. You want to subscribe, and goodbye.